Now, from CBS 4 News, this is Facing South Florida with Jim DeFede.
Good morning, I'm Jim DeFede and welcome to Facing South Florida. This week, Nicholas Cruz pled guilty to the premeditated murders of 17 students and staff at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School. We're not going to show you his supposed apology. It means nothing. Many of the families of those killed, however, did speak to reporters immediately after the hearing. Fred Guttenberg, however, left the courtroom, opting not to say anything.
Thanks all. I gotta go see my daughter.
All right. The next day, I spoke to him as he explained where he went.
I left there. All I wanted to do was go to the cemetery. I'd see Jamie and tell her what happened and tell her the person who did this to her will, at a minimum, spend the rest of his life in prison. That's guaranteed. I wanted her to know that this nightmare of a legal process that has been a part of her family's life since this happened is one step closer to being over. As much as I respect and appreciate all the reporters and all the media, I didn't want to stop yesterday for that. I wanted to go see my daughter. It was very emotional being there. I looked my daughter's killer in the eye, and while I didn't want to, I couldn't stop myself. And you can't sit there and hear, for example, that Mike Satt's presentation of facts and not just be devastated. And I was. And I just knew if I had stopped yesterday after I left, I would have been in too emotional a place to proceed. And so I left.
You said you looked into the killer's eyes. What did you see?
Nothing. I see nothing with him. Someone else asked me, I think it was the day before yesterday, if I hate him. And I don't. I have no emotion for him. I just know I want him to pay the ultimate price. I don't ever want to think about him. I don't want to think about his name. I don't want to think about what he looks like. I only know what he did. And I know his need to give a statement to the families maybe was something he needed to do for himself. It did nothing for me. It did nothing for the rest of the families. In fact, speaking for myself, it infuriated me that he had the opportunity to say those things. I wanted to pay the ultimate price.
And the ultimate price being death?
100%. The ultimate price being death. I want him to be removed from our need to take care of him, feed him, clothe him as quickly as possible. And whether it's through the death penalty or by putting him in with the prison population and letting it get handled there, I just want him gone.
You said you visited Jamie's grave yesterday or after the hearing. Do you visit her grave often?
I do. It is the only place I get to go and be physically near my daughter. My daughter is forever 14, and I'm a dad of 2 kids. I'll never, ever, ever stop thinking of myself that way. I think of my relationship now with my kids very differently. My son, it's all about what we do now going forward, the things we do together, watching him grow up. For my daughter, it's all about memories. It's also about the angst over what I won't have. I won't get to walk her down the aisle. I won't get to be a grandparent to her children, and I will always know that. But I still think of myself always as having an ongoing relationship with her. It's how I go forward every day. And so for me, being at the cemetery, or I can be physically close to her, it helps me to do that.
You talk about memories. Anyone who's lost someone, I think their biggest fear sometimes tends to be that some of those memories fade somewhat with time, or that we have trouble remembering certain aspects of the person we loved. I find that, my father died when I was 19. There are moments where I even question, what do I remember? I remember losing certain details, and it pains me. Do you feel that with Jamie? Do you worry about losing some of those memories?
It's an interesting question. My brother died 4 months before Jamie. And, growing up, we didn't have pictures and videos the way we do a parent of my age of our kids. And it's amazing. I haven't lost any detail of any memory that I have with my daughter, because every single day I get to watch videos. I get to look at pictures. I get to turn on my computer and see Facebook memories. And so I consider myself strangely fortunate that my wife and I were strangely obsessed with cataloging and characterizing everything that happened. But I am so thankful now that we did.
Part of what you talk about as well is honoring her memory by the work that you do going forward. And I know that you just recently signed on with the Brady PAC. Talk to me a little bit about, there was what you're trying to do there, and there seemed to be some initial momentum after what happened in Parkland that I'm not sure if that momentum has been maintained. Talk a little bit about where we are on the issue of gun rights.
It will give me a more direct ability to play a role in elections that matter to me, in races that matter to me, to work even harder on ensuring a gun safety majority in Congress. I would say this. We are closer right now than we've ever been to passing gun safety legislation. Since Parkland, we've actually had crazy success with elections, right? We have a president who supports gun safety legislation. We have a House that supports gun safety legislation. And we've pushed the Senate to this 50-50 that should be supportive of gun safety legislation, but 50-50 isn't enough. And if you would have said to me 3.5 years ago that we'd be in this place electorally, politically, to getting something done, I probably would have told you, maybe you did ask me this 3.5 years ago, that we couldn't do that. And we did. So here's what I'll say. It's not enough. And we are now closer to this place where we can either get gun safety legislation passed, or potentially after the next election, go to a place where it'll never happen. I don't intend for that to happen. I intend to put every ounce of my energy into helping elect candidates who will do more for gun safety. That means we need more people in the Senate, and that means a gun safety majority needs to stay in the House. I think it's possible. I don't buy into all of the nonsense about this being a midterm election, because this is not a typical election process, cycle, environment, but it's going to take work, and it's going to take the belief that we can do this, and I think we can.
Are there particular races that, whether through the Brady PAC or that you personally are invested in terms of looking at? I know that you've gone back and forth at times with Senator Marco Rubio. Is that a race that
100%? I would like to retire Senator Rubio. He has been, unfortunately, from my perspective, useless, not effective, and I think Congresswoman Val Demings is a strong candidate, She believes in gun safety, and I intend to help that happen. But there are other races across the country where, whether you look in Ohio, Wisconsin, North Carolina, where Senate seats can change and add to a gun safety majority, and we're going to do it.
Talk to me about the message that you have behind you. The one that, is that something that Jamie said or spoke of often?
It is. When she was a young competitive dancer, I think her first year of competitive dance, her dance instructor asked all the kids to come up with a quote that inspires them. Jamie found that one online and lived with it for the years after. In fact, it really defined who she is. And it's, if you go to the dance studio where she used to dance, it's actually now enshrined inside the studio as well, where she originally wrote it. They've actually got it covered now so that it's there forever. And
just in case anyone can't see it clearly,
dreams and dedication are a powerful combination.
Yeah.
And I tell people all the time, my baby girl, she was the wisest, strongest person I ever knew. And she stands on my shoulders, pushing me forward. And that saying, I live my life by now, because I have a dream. I have a dream of reducing gun violence in this country. And I am dedicating my life to making sure it happens. And I am doing it for Jamie and all the other victims of gun violence. And not just those that we bury, but the families and the friends and the neighbors that get affected as well.
Those families will have to live with that pain and suffering for the rest of their lives. This week, CBS 4 focused on another tragedy in our community, the collapse of the Champlain Towers in Surfside, in which 98 people died. Bonded by Tragedy, 30 Days in Surfside is an hour-long film I wrote and produced that tells the story of how families and friends coped with the search for their loved ones. Here's a clip. Under a police escort, the buses would travel the short route from the hotel to the collapse site. A special viewing area was cordoned off for the families on the patio of the building just north of the Champlain Towers. When they arrived, Lisa Shrem and Rachel Sabag scanned the pile.
And it just looked like 9/11. You saw it, there was about 200 men and women working on the hill.
But their eyes were drawn to a corner of the building still standing, and they could see what remained of Estelle's apartment, her blue and purple suitcases readily apparent against a gray backdrop.
It was a little bit overwhelming.
Her couch still had the pillows on the couch. The cushions were still on her couch, but just that bedroom part tipped off. That was hard to see.
Her apartment's there. The valance of her curtain is blowing in the wind. Her two suitcases are on the edge of the ledge of where her apartment was. 30 feet left or right, that's the essence of life. That's it. That's all God's got for us. 30 feet left or right decides whether you live or die.
If you would like to see the entire documentary, it is available on our website at cbsmiami.com/Surfside Collapse. It will also air today at 2 p.m. on our sister station, My 33. I hope you'll take a look. When we come back, Congressman Charlie Crist, who is running for governor. Stay with us.